would you like to see lodges actually do with this plan ultimately? I mean, it's not, as you said, it's not simply for Grand Lodge or for Freemasons of Victoria, it's for individual members and their lodges. What would you like lodges to do with it?
Look, read it for a start might be a fantastic way to start the ball rolling. But I think it behoves districts to also start. So our district coordinators are our sort of first line of support, if you like. And I think what they need to do is they need to bring lodges within their region or their area together, maybe even work together, heaven forbid. Let district coordinators come together, bring the regional lodges together and start preparing a plan that cascades down into the lodges. So a district plan. What is it that the district wants to see? And we shouldn't just be centric, membership numbers. Because if we don't retain the membership, doesn't matter how many we're going to bring through the door, if we don't retain them, we're going to be no better off. So we need to make sure that our lodges are vibrant and exciting, that maybe we might just have a little bit of fun at the right time. It's not all the time, but a little bit of fun, in the south. You mentioned the lodge meeting we were at last Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was in Warrigal, and it was a fantastic night. And it was different, and it was enjoyable. So
there's a lot of energy, wasn't there?
Oh, tremendous amount of energy, and some young guys really enjoying Freemasonry, as were the older members of the organisation. So we had a real cross section of people that were actually having a great time. So that's what we need to do.
Now you mentioned having your lodge ready to receive members, member-ready lodges. That in fact retention may well be more important than recruitment and attraction. How do lodges go about getting some advice on how to do that?
Well, I think
if they had the answer, they would have already have done it.
Well, yeah, I guess that's right, Richard. I mean, it is really important for them to be ready to take on new candidates, but it's equally important for them to make sure that their lodge meetings and their sales are in fact enjoyable. But there's a whole lot of other things I think that sort of come into that. Part of it would be, obviously, from a retention point of view, those that they haven't retained. Yeah. Maybe they can go back through their records and make a discreet telephone call and say, well, are you interested in coming back? What we've found out from our forums and our work on our branding is that we've got, 18 to 118 is probably the spread of our membership potential. And so what we need to understand is, at each stage, where are they at? We already know that a 20-year-old will possibly not stay in our organisation. Now, it would be great to think that they would, that there is nothing that would make them move away from our organisation, but there's other requirements in people's lives, including family and jobs, and so we understand that people would move out of the organisation. And traditionally what we've done is we've discarded them. We've said, no longer part of the organisation, wipe them off the database, no longer should we contact them. We need to maybe keep that touch over their earlier years while they are building their own brand, while they are building their families, etc., so that when they're ready to come back, and I'm sure they will be ready to come back at a time, that they know that we haven't abandoned them. And I think that's really important, that we need to keep touch. Now, we need to also honour their wishes. So if they feel as though they don't want to be contacted, then we need to make sure that we honour that wish. But just once a year, it could be as simple as a birthday wish on their birthday. I mean, and these days with computers and email listings, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. You can schedule it up front and just allow that to go out. So from that point of view, we've got to be ready in our lodges to accept that we're going to have a transient. We're going to have to be accepting of the fact that the younger person is the future of our organisation, but should not be pursued to the exclusion.
Well, that's a very good point you raised, because there's been some, I think, misunderstanding of the whole words "today's man." It's as though it means only those perhaps under 39.
correct, and that is incorrect. I think today's man is your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, and I'll go so far as to say 80s and 90s as well. It's about people that are prepared to join our organisation and embrace the teachings of our organisation, I guess, and that can be done at any age. And we already know that through that branding, those that are 45 to beyond have probably got the time. They're settled in their jobs, they're settled in their families, and they're looking for that third place. They've had work, they've had home, and they've had not much else. So I think that they're ready to, perhaps at that age, to embrace our organisation. We talk about the younger man because simply that's the future of our organisation. If we only recruit at 60 and 70, then we're really looking very short-sighted at our organisation in the future.